everything. We have our notes, we have the microphone on, we have the little dog. Hello friend, and welcome to the book club. This is episode 16 of me sewing dresses inspired by the books I read. So get yourself a tea, find a cozy spot, and settle in so we can chat about books while I sew a dress. This week's book is A Novena for Murder. I actually didn't really read this. My husband read it to me, but I will count that as me reading it. My husband reads to me whenever I sew, and I will never shut up about that. I think it's the most romantic thing I can think of. Now this book, I don't know how great this is as a recommendation because I don't know how easy it is to get, but I'm still going to recommend it because it is still like I got the whole series actually on Abe's books and they took forever to get in. They cost way too much money altogether and none of them match, which I actually really like. I'll show them to you later. But yeah, I'm really pleased that I have the whole series because I loved this. So far we've only read this one though, because the next part is a Christmas one. And I've had this with 3 series that I've started now. That the part that I'm now like stuck at is set in winter and it's spring. I'm not in the mood for it. Anyways, okay, I'm chatting way too much about this. This book is about Sister Mary Helen, who is a nun in a convent that is sort of tied to a women's college or women's university. But one night, they find one of the professors murdered in his office, and Sister Mary Helen decides that she's going to be the one to solve the crime. Absolutely adorable, and maybe my favorite thing about this book is the fact that it was written by a nun. It was written by Sister Carol Ann O'Mary, who was a nun in, I believe, San Francisco as well for most of her life. And I don't think they're on our porch. I think we're good, Mary. Alright. Yeah, she was a real nun in San Francisco for most of her life, and she sounds lovely. She actually was a co-founder of a women's shelter in San Francisco, and I think that's just lovely, and they called it a friendly place, which is just so sweet. Anyways, she seems like an absolutely lovely person. I'm assuming you can hear the church bells right now. It's just gonna be happening for a couple minutes now, for a minute, but it's gonna feel like longer than that. Alright. So yeah, she seems lovely. This book is adorable. I love this. It's absolutely adorable. And it's actually written very well. About the dress, I don't really want to dress up as a nun, but I sort of wanted the dress to be churchy in the way it feels. I also wouldn't mind this actually being like a dress I can wear to church, which, you know, I spend a lot of time there because my husband works for the church. And also we do a lot of day trips, and when we go somewhere we like to visit churches because they're just the prettiest places. So yeah, I think it would be nice if it was a sort of churchy dress. And I found this white linen that I found quite just classy and nice. So I'm going to use that. I've also used it before for other dresses and I just really like working with it. And for the embroidery, I know I've just done a like church window. I'm going to do another one. I just love them. It's going to be different in style. And I'm just gonna do it. I don't care. Now about the book. So Sister Mary Helen is trying to retire, and so she's been sent to this convent that is connected to a women's college in San Francisco to essentially spend her retirement there. And I love the setting. It is very quaint. I love an all-girls place. And this very much is because, you know, it's just a bunch of nuns and female students, which I think is so cute. I also love all the other nuns. Now, Sister Mary Helen loves murder mysteries. She pretty much always has one on her, and she carries them around hidden underneath her, like, prayer book sleeve, and it's so cute, I think. And she always feels like it's, like, a little bit, like, sneaky. And it's just so cute. We begin the story at the convent. In the evening, all the nuns are just sitting together. They're playing board games, they're knitting, they're watching TV, just being adorable. But then an earthquake strikes, which by the way, sounds absolutely terrifying. I would not like that. Luckily, I don't live in a place that has earthquakes. The nuns are all quite frazzled, and Sister Mary Helen and Sister Eileen, who's sort of Sister Mary Helen's best friend and also kind of becomes like a little bit of her sidekick, which is quite cute, they decide to go over to the college to check if everything's alright there and if the janitor who might still be there at work has been hurt. So they go over to the college and they discover that while the janitor is very much safe, they walk into the office of one of the professors, but when they get there they discover, I don't know how to say this name properly. I don't speak Portuguese. He's Portuguese. Villanueva? I'm not sure. But they discover the history professor and he is no longer with us. It's very adorable. They immediately call a priest for him, but we pretty quickly realize that it was not an accident. He was murdered. And what's very cute about this is that Sister Mary Helen is sort of in this constant back and forth internally between like being genuinely very shocked at these things happening in, you know, her convent and just, you know, terrible things happening to people, but also being a bit excited by the idea of having her own murder to solve. And I just find that back and forth quite funny. One of the nuns, I think it's Sister Teresa, but I'm not 100% sure, starts this sort of emergency novena. A novena is essentially like a 9-day, I think it can also be 9-week period of devotional prayer asking for specific intercession. And the chapters of the books are the 9 days of the novena, which is quite cute, I think, and quite a fun way of sort of dividing the book up. But Sister Mary Helen very, very quickly starts going against the advice of Kate, the young detective that is working the case, to stay out of the murder and starts investigating by herself. And I love her way of investigating because it's essentially just her going off vibes. She just meets people and she's like, I like you and I don't like that guy. And it is just very cute. For the most part, she likes people. So it's not a lot of I don't like you, but I very much relate. And it's sort of just like, it's like attached to nothing, whether she likes someone or not. It's really just like a feeling she gets. Her other way of investigating is really just like being aggressively social and calling people and just using being a nun. She also, apart from Sister Eileen, had this other sort of nun working with her, Sister Anne? I think it's Sister Anne. I'm terrible with names. And Sister Anne is very into yoga. She's very young, and every time Sister Mary Helen comes into her office, she like, you know, on the floor, like doing some sort of yoga pose or something. And it's just very cute. I also really like Kate, the detective's relationship. She is in a relationship with this other police officer, and he's this like Italian guy, and his mom really wants them to get married because they live together. Oh, the sin of it. They keep inviting Sister Mary Helen over for dinner to like, he's trying to get Kate to marry him. Kate's trying to show him that like the nun approves of them just living together. And it's just very cute. They're very precious together. It's very cute. Everyone's just lovely. Everyone, you know, except for the people doing the murdering. Okay, light spoiler warning. Well, pretty big I guess with like mysteries, is everything just a big spoiler warning? I don't know. But it's just like a cute thing at the end. So you're not missing out. Skip it if you want to read it. It's a cute book. You should. Timestamp, I guess on this side because I'm sitting so far on this side. Alright. So, turns out that Professor Villanueva was a pretty bad guy. He would bring over these young people from Portugal with promises of like, oh, you're gonna get rich in America. And he brings them over illegally and then extorts them. And when they start complaining, he gets rid of them or has someone get rid of them. In the book, there's a second murder of a young woman. And it turns out that the young woman was onto him and her like thesis disappears because she was onto him, and the sister of the murdered girl is actually the one who murdered the professor in self-defense. She gets absolved, it's all good, it's not, you know, wasn't her choice to do this. And at the very end, Kate and her police officer guy and the girl that did the murdering and her boyfriend, they get married at the same time. It's a double wedding ending. It's just so cute. It's adorable. I love it. It's so very precious. Yeah, it's just an adorable book. I love it. And the nuns are just so delighted. Sister Mary Helen is a flower girl, which is just so cute. I am definitely going to read part 2 through 11 of this. I don't know if I'm going to skip part 2 for now just because it is Christmassy. Because I'm not in the mood for Christmas. But it sounds so good. Part 2 sounds so good. But anyways, maybe I'll do like a trying to solve it as I read it. But I'm unsure if I want to do that. But maybe? Yeah, anyways, I hope I have the dress done. It's definitely going to be late this week because I'm running errands with my mama today. And I am not done with it at all. I really loved this book. I'm so excited about the next book. Can't wait. Anyways, let's look at the dress. Alright, here is the dress. I'm really pleased with it. I like it a lot. Here is the embroidery. It very much reminds me of a monastery. I really like it. I like dressing a little bit more like a nun. Oh, I wanted to show you other books. Oh, well, if this isn't just the worst stacking you've ever seen. Oh, good gosh. I'll show you from both sides. But yeah, they're all different. That's my point. And I like it. Alright. I'm scared to put these down. Before I call my husband, I hope to see you again next week. I very much enjoyed spending time with you, and I hope you have a lovely, lovely time until next week. Goodbye, friend.